guys, and welcome back to the last Minecraft video on this season. Now, that may come as a bit of surprise because last episode I talked about all the plans I had, all the things left to do, and there are some reasons for that. Mainly the fact I haven't played on it for about 6 months, and firstly I've kind of forgotten a lot of my plans, and secondly I've just not got the inspiration I had, and it's kind of this season is kind of quite disjointed. Though I did quite a few episodes in a row, and after that it's become creeper there. I'm not going to land there. It's become quite disjointed, and there's not been a huge amount actually going on. In a sense, it's kind of been very irregular episodes where I've done the odd task. I really kind of need to get in my house and sleep, otherwise it is 1.13 now, and I'm going to get A, phantoms attacking me, which would be a bit of a disaster, and B, it could just all go a bit pear-shaped, couldn't it? So let's just get inside here. But yeah, and it's mainly just fact it's been quite disjointed. The whole series it's kind of, I did about a good dozen episodes in a row, and after that it's kind of done about 5 episodes after over 1.5 years. And I'm just not, nothing really seems to be flowing. I've kind of got projects all over the place, and I've not really got the motivation or inspiration to finish anything. And that's the main reason why I'm starting off. That's one reason, basically. Things are kind of left. I kind of haven't really got the will. I know it sounds bad, but I don't really want to. I don't really want to carry on, in a sense. I want to start a new series. I want to start and do things differently, because ultimately, for me. I know there's only been like 21 episodes on this world, but it's gone on for quite a lot. It's gone on for a while, really. For me, it's gone on for about over 2 years, and I'm kind of ready to start a new Minecraft world with some new ideas. And we're doing quite a bit of this world. I'm happy with where we've got to in 20 episodes. We've got a nice world done, and I will put this world up for download for any of you. So if any of you watching this video go, oh, I want to play on this world, or I want to finish something off, then please do. I doubt anyone will, but if you do and play on it, please just let me know the world, and for all likelihood I'll probably do a YouTube video on it and show kind of how you manage to finish it off. But I will put it on for download just because. The second reason I'm finishing this series is because Update Aquatic is here. As you can see, we are in Minecraft 1.13, but can you see the seas are the same as always? You see, there's Minecraft Ocean, not warm ocean, not lukewarm ocean, just ocean. There's dolphins, of course, and there's fish, but there's no kelp or there's no shipwrecks or anything. That's how because it's world generation. There's all the mobs, but you haven't got the things just make the underwater stuff so spectacular. You will if you go far enough out, but around here there's nothing like the kelp, there's nothing like the buried treasures, nothing like shipwrecks, nothing which really makes the underwater particularly nice in that sense. So there is the update there, but I kind of want to move somewhere I can make more use of the underwater area. Somewhere I'll probably use an island again. I've got a lot of ideas for where I'm going to move to, and I'll say that in the first episode of the new series, which will be fairly soon. But mainly, hello, look at you, oh, sweet dolphin. But it's all things like this. I kind of want to go to a biome where I can use things like coal. I can look at the kelp and just kind of live in more of a aquatic world. This one, it doesn't. It's kind of basically mobs in the old ocean, and I kind of want to be able to explore the ocean, and that's the other reason I'm changing it. And I may even do a bit of an underwater base and just change things around a bit. So they're pretty much my 2 reasons, and that's why I will be ending this video. But what I will do this episode is I will do a world tour, like I did at the end of the first series. I'll basically show you all I've done in this world and give you a bit of a world tour. But anyway, let's just, that won't work. I'm just going to go pick myself up some food, and then I will start the world tour. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this world tour sort of episode by episode, in a way. It's going to be a bit difficult, but I'm kind of going to try and go through what I did in a sort of chronological order. I haven't got any notes for me, but I hope I can remember. So, yeah, anyway, so first, oh, that didn't work, didn't it? Just flew straight into it. How have I got, to change that around to get diamond. But anyway, I don't know, I'm not playing it in 6 months, so I don't know what's going on with anything. But, okay, so, first episode. I moved over to this island because, well, I kind of wanted to live on an island, and initially this bridge didn't exist. This bit here was pretty much just very bland, not very nice grass, and there was no kind of river here. It joined. Should really do that. They should change how I water. Anyway, but essentially this wasn't even a river. This was basically this was joined to the rest of the land. But I kind of wanted to make this an own island where I could put my kind of starter house on, and that's what I did. So in that episode, I built this starter house over here, which is kind of where. That's brilliant. Well done, firework. So this is still where my bed is and things, and I kind of decorated that and set it up. And also, what I did is I built this melon farm. I think it was one on the left. I built a melon farm here, and I have still quite like these melon farms. They've produced a lot of melons, and I think they look quite nice, really. The way I built them, they've just kind of blending quite nicely. But don't look too. They look quite nice and that they're meant to be there. So that was my melon farm over there. Second episode, that was mostly an exploration episode, so there's not much to talk about there. Apart from, I did also build a second melon tower, and for completeness, I need to stop doing that. You know what? I'm going to put my sword in my hand. But basically, they collect down here. But as you can see, they do produce quite a lot of melons, and it is automatic. I did make it wasn't used to be automatic. You just have to press the button, but it is automated now. I probably can show you. As you can see there, you kind of got a hopper clock over there. It's quite nicely packed in, but it basically sets it on a timer and makes that work. So there we are. So that was basically my first area of the base, and kind of what I moved into in a lot of ways, and where I started off on this island. At this point, it wasn't landscape like this. That came later. I just had an episode where I landscaped this whole area, made it look quite nice. And initially my plan was to kind of build a village here, but obviously I kind of turned it into more of a garden area. But anyway, I was on the Nether portal. Anyway, right, third episode, I basically blew up a hole. Is what I did, essentially. This whole hole over here, it was made in the third episode. I basically placed a load of TNT down and dug it all out. This was where initially I was going to keep all my stuff in. I was going to build loads of farms and loads of rooms in here. Obviously, I have sort of built other areas since, but still kind of put quite a bit in here. So that was episode 3, this hole over here. And essentially, as you can see, it goes down quite a way to the bottom over there, about Y53, quite deep. Anyway, I probably need to get out of here now. But yeah, anyway, while I'm here, I know it's not quite an episode order, but I will show you what's in here. So, ground floor, never managed to get that completed, just a bit for me. And that really needs to go as well. Yeah, ground floor, nothing on here. I would have wanted to, but I never got round to it. Here, mob drop farm. That was in a later episode. I'll come back to all of these later as well. I'll explain them as I go, but I'll just show what's in here. You've got chicken farm, mob farm again, and prepare nightmare with thing which I'll talk about later, and fish farm. Fish farm was another thing I did. I think the third episode. This is what I also did the third episode. Build the fish farm. Unfortunately, it is now broken, but it was quite useful at getting me loot, and I think it's quite a nice room. But anyway, so episode 4, what I did is I went off and built an XP farm. Okay, so here it is, my zombie XP driver, just to kind of show you it works. But you can let them all in. That button's a bit useless now. It wasn't perfect because I had to pretty much hit them all myself because of how I had it set up. Essentially, you do that. I probably need a sweeping edge enchantment or something, but it needed to really be automated. But it worked. It got me enough levels to do things I needed with, and that's that. So there we got that. Obviously, chest to collect goods, and over here, loads of armour collected over my time, loads of rotten flesh and a bit of iron even, loads of more rotten flesh, and in here I did start to build some sort of enchantment table so I could enchant while I was here. And I kind of dug out this hole. I never really had any plans for it. I kind of went, oh, maybe I could build a few farms, it'll do something with it, but I never did in the end. But it may have been something I did something with to kind of flesh out this zombie farm area over here. And just to show you what's going on, hopefully we always used to be mobs from down here. As you can see, little picture zombie face. I always found that quite nice. And here, as you can see, this is the actual zombie farm in itself. What you're doing, That's the actual zombie farming itself down there, and obviously, I don't think it can. Yeah, there you are. As you can see, they all float down there, and into the grinder. Anyway, so I'll just go outside. It's all very convoluted, this route, but this basically here takes you outside to here. Cow. Anyway, over there, that's the kind of hole down to where all the enchanting stuff was, and over in that direction was also a village, which I used. Didn't do anything in there apart from get some villagers from. So there we are. That's that. Need to. It's always hard to get back in here. Does that? Oh, it's weird how mobs just appear. I bet it's when it's dark in here. It's a bit dodgy. But anyway, there we are. We'll go back out here. Let all of them just stay in there. And yeah. Anyway, I never did anything with it. I kind of always wanted to build a tunnel, but I never really had a great idea for it. But as you can see, there is a minecart rail, but there's not a huge amount going on here, is there? I did build a slight kind of building thing at the other side when you come out of portal, so you don't get like fall into lava or anything stupid. But there's not a huge amount going on over here. There's also the Nether Fortress, but once again, didn't build anything in there. There's not a huge amount to talk about in the Nether. Most of all my stuff, apart from that zombie farm, is all at my normal base. That's the only thing kind of built away from it. So, anyway, that takes me to my mob grinder. So let's go in this one over here. That's the end, so you know, that over there, that's the end portal, stronghold. Nothing particular to see there. Didn't build anything, but I probably would have it if I had more time. But yeah, that's where the end portal stronghold is. But anyway, so then I think episode 5, 6 and 7, all of these I worked on this building here. So my aim was I wanted a auto sorter, so not and a good one as that, not just the ones where you get one chest and it filters all the same item, one which you can store multiple items in. And that's basically what I did. I made an auto sorting system, so you can literally put your item here and it auto sorts them into the correct chest. So I've pretty much got 2 rows of there, and these are unsorted, so yeah. Anyway, but you've got all these there, so you've got things like valuables. You can see quite a lot of diamonds as well. If you look at diamonds, always a reasonable amount of them. So there you are, about 1.5 stacks of diamonds left. Anyway, I'll craft those back up. But yeah, there's not really much else to say apart from spent quite a few episodes building a sorter. I quite like. It's quite handy to have, and in my next series I will also do a sorter. And next episode, my next series, I'll also build a sorter. I'll probably do something similar for the same stuff. But it works quite nicely, and I've enjoyed having it, and it allows me to sort things away. And then this building was built on the outside over here. So this is probably one of my proudest buildings. I actually do really quite like it. I spent a while designing it, but like it's got a nice amount of depth to it, and I was quite proud of it. And I think it looked quite nice. It fits around it really quite well, actually, if I'm honest about it. And I was pleased when I made this. And I think it's a nice little building. It's quite a large building, but it was quite nice to make. As you can see, quite a lot of detail. And I was quite pleased by this actual building for the sorter. And that's where that all goes in. And yeah, as you can see some redstone through the windows there, which is something I quite like. So that was episode 5, 6 and 7. Now, episode 8. Yeah, I did villagers for 2 episodes, which was just a complete disaster. I basically tried to get villagers from village. There are quite funny episodes if you wanted to check out. I think it's episode 8 and episode 9. All goes a bit pear-shaped. Get villagers from over a village, about 1,000 blocks that way. Sell them, bring them along with boats, bring them up here, and they just all start suffocating. One I had the sound turned down for, so it just died, and the other one I don't really know what happened. I think it just went missing or something. It turns out I think there are 2 villagers in the Nether, because that was the other thing that happened. I always put them through the Nether portals, and they just went missing. But no, I think there are 2 kept in the Nether, so if I wanted to, I could do villagers, but I just fell out of them after that. So first episode, I did episode 8 get 2 villagers and put them there, but they just gradually managed to die, which was just irritating. But I did build this room once again, kind of like the zombie room. It's got the villager sort of face, which I think is quite nice. got a bit of pixel art villager. I was quite pleased by this room as well. Yeah, it all went a bit pear-shaped, villagers, so I kind of gave up on that after 2 episodes. So that was what happened then. So then, what I did after that, I think I went on to building the mob farm above here. So as you can see up there, yeah, there's the mob farm. It's quite a big one. I'll try and get us a slightly better view by going up in the elytra. Yeah. So over here, as you can probably, well, you can kind of see different layers of it in there. It kind of build up. I'm not how sure how many layers there were, but I think it's about 3 or 4. But it's quite a useful mob farm to have. It's got with drops. We can probably have a look from here if we're careful enough. Yeah, 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. 3 layers. And up here is my AFK platform for it, which I built. Never really used it, but that was my AFK platform for mob farm. All the way up there, so it wouldn't load any of the lower areas. So that was what I spent an episode building that. I then spent an episode building this killing platform. Now, there is a flaw with this, in that witches can drink fire resistance. It was quite a clever idea using the magma blocks, because they didn't actually have to fall to their death, because I built it too low for that. It was a bit silly. But here they only had to fall about 30 blocks, and they would literally get onto the magma blocks after falling through, and well, die on it. And that was in 1.10 when magma blocks were newly out. So I kind of built this killing platform there for the mobs. Let's just get rid of you, zombie. Works. Let's try and get to you. You are stupid, aren't you? There we are. So yeah, that was that, and over there, and this, well, I think this was a temporary sorting system, which I made initially when I first built it. That then, goodness me, I hate these mobs. Hate baby zombies. Hard work. Huh. Hard work, aren't they? Anyway, I'm just going to get inside before it all goes a bit pear-shaped. Let's get in here. Oh, goodness me. I'm a bit rusty at this game. Right, so anyway, this is my bug drops. Then after that, I had a temporary system, then I built a full-blown another sort of system, which is collecting things up. This is kind of just loose stuff. Over here, you can see quite a lot of arrows have been collected, a lot of string has been collected, a lot of rotten flesh, not too much gunpowder, but a bit, and a few bones have been collected. I haven't done much AFK, so I wouldn't expect too many. There we are. So that was that room. Once again, I quite like the bone blocks I used there. So yeah, that was my most forward valve. I'll just quickly show the inside area. In here to show you the working. So in here, this is basically it's your standard mob design with items getting collected out of Microsoft Hopper being sorted, and it's just your standard sorter essentially, the run-of-the-mill one. Anyway, so then after that, I'm not 100% sure what we built now. That's episode 12. I think there's a couple of episodes where I just did odd jobs. I'm pretty sure I didn't really do too much in particular. I think it's kind of where my motivation stopped with going through a series, which is kind of where a problem started. There are a couple of things. I think there was one episode I built this kind of area to walk down, which is quite nice. It goes from glass down to bones at the bottom. Looks okay from the outside as well. I built that one episode, and down there. As you can see, and another episode. Then that was pretty much all I did. Another episode, I cleared out this forest area to make some paths, because my plan was to make some sort of jungle village. Obviously, that never really came to fruition, but my plan was sort of to make some sort of paths around here. It sort of took you round the side here. Loads of mobs everywhere. I really need to light this up better. Loads of mobs everywhere. Oh, hello, cow. All the way down here, kind of just some sort of cove thing. It was a bit of a shame I never got this finished, but I never really had the motivation to do it, and that's mostly the problem with this series. But that was down to there, and it went round the front of here as well. And then episode 15, I built this castle. This is something I found online, and I kind of went, well, oh, what's this? Oh, not you. There we are. Yeah. So there's your castle. I found a thing online. The schematic, the inside I did myself, but yeah, as you can see, it's fairly basically made. Just water fountain, table, pathway, and kind of staircase thing inside. Here, these were kind of servant quarters. I never filled these out, but this kind of tower with servant quarter things in. There's this balcony over here, overlooking things. Kind of master room up here, and then downstairs into here. So it's not a huge thing, but it was quite a nice thing to build for an episode, and I quite enjoyed doing it personally. It was quite nice. So then, where do we get to? Episode 16 and 17 were end episodes. 16, 17, 18, I all went to the end of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Blooming heck. Oh, give me a heart attack. Give me a heart attack, that. Goodness. Okay. Right, well, this is just lethal, this world. Maybe I should just get out of here. But episode 17, 18, I went to the end. Did a bit of gathering of stuff. Found entities, did some... fought the Ender Dragon. That was kind of what happened in those episodes. Not much to show there. I won't go and buy a patch of it now, in honesty. You know, it's kind of I'm leaving this world. So it's all got a bit damaged in time over creepers, as you can see from the ceiling here. I kind of quite like the blue look as well. But yeah, that was what happened there. Then episode 19, I basically blew up another hole, and I kind of wanted to make it some sort of like dwarven medieval style kingdom, but I never really got there. I kind of did an episode. I've not really got any plans still, and it would have taken so long really. But yeah, this is the hole I built. I basically used loads of TNT, loads of mining. You can see the episode 19. I basically dug out quite a significant hole in here, down there, all this way. And I was going to do stuff in there, but never got round to doing it. And then finally, episode 20, which is the episode before this, I built the chicken farm. That was quite a funny episode, if I remember, because things kept on going wrong, such as me having spent ages trying to farm eggs, the skylight being in the wrong place. So yeah, chicken farm. Sorry, I just had a bit of an interruption for a minute. Down here, I basically then built a chicken farm, which quite a funny episode. We happened to move it because I put it in the wrong place and wrong thing, and skylight being all incorrect. But yeah, it's not really got anywhere, but it's a fun little redstone project to do. And that brings me up to where we are today. So there's not much more to show you. There's a few little bits scattered around. Like I know somewhere there's this hole which leads down to a slime farm, which I think I fell down nearly killed myself in woods. And yeah, but that's pretty much all there is. Last thing to show you really is this garden. I think this was also episode 16, which I forgot about. But yeah, it's basically just landscape this area. Down there, this all leads to my caving area down here. And yeah, so basically it's just kind of a sort of with some river, some lakey things down there, and some pathways and trees and flowers and wheat and things. It's basically just a landscape it into a garden sort of thing with little paths running around all over the place and bridges and things. It's quite nice to say just to walk around. I think it looks quite pretty from the sky. And there's this little kind of abandoned shack down here as well I built. That's pretty much all there is to show you. So yeah, anyway, thank you for everyone who's watched the series, everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's left a like, everyone who's supported it. It won't be long now until I start a new series. I've got loads of plans for it, and I'll update you a bit more on those in the future when I start the series. But yeah, anyway, there we are. So that, I think, is that. So thank you very much for watching the series, and I'll see you in series.